vigilant, we are more concerned about what happens in the counties, because that is where we are going to survive. Our people have no other way of getting government resources. We thank Raila Amolo Odinga for having fought for devolution. And therefore, even if our people are not at the center of government, we have the counties that are supposed to give us service. And there are certain things that happened during the regime of Rasanga. And I fear that during this regime of James Orengo, those things, if they are not addressed, they could still reoccur. I want to say that all of us know that the regime, Rasanga regime, for the last 10 years did not do much. Sometimes we put the entire blame on him, but sometimes we feel that we cannot blame him entirely. There are certain actors within the operations of county governments that really should take blame when the regime fails, So Rasanga should not be blamed entirely for the failure of this regime. We need to identify certain actors that also assisted in those failures. When budgets are being made, the Constitution demands that the people are consulted. They are asked, what do you want the county government to do for you? What do you want national government to do for you? What do you want CDF to do for you? So these consultations always happen. Unfortunately, after these consultations happen, the Speaker of the County Assembly, at the tail end of it, decides to change all these proposals which our people have given out for development projects. And this is something that we must highlight. For instance, in 2020 financial year, I participated I went for public participation during the budget making process for Siaya County government. And in Nyajuk sub-location, we say that the only project we want is, we want our Tingwangi dispensary to be enhanced through construction of a maternity wing, and that is the only project we proposed. But when the budget was passed in the assembly, it was removed, and again what was given to us was some road. Some funny road was budgeted for, to be opened, to be done, and that was just one of the proposals we did. So we have realized that the person who is changing these things is the Speaker of the County Assembly. And we want to urge the Speaker of the County Assembly that this time around, when the Governor of Siaya is James Orengo, we want the Governor of Siaya to be given the mandate to run the development affairs of the county through consultations with the people of Kenya. The other issue which I wanted to raise, which is very important, is that there have been proposals to build the residence of the Speaker of the County Assembly of Siaya. This proposal has been in the budget since the last government. There have also been proposals to build a new county assembly. And every financial year, a lot of resources are retained towards this idea. Unfortunately, this has not been happening, or it has not. Unfortunately, it has not happened. I want you to understand why we do not need to build a new office or a new home for the governor, for the Speaker of Siaya County Assembly. You remember recently there were proposals to build a home for the governor, and there was an uproar where the citizens of Siaya said, no, we don't want to build a home for the governor. That's not a priority. We are also saying that it is not a priority to build a home for the Speaker of the County Assembly of Siaya. It's not a priority. And we cannot spend about 150 million shillings to build a home for a Speaker of the County Assembly of Siaya. Somebody who has not been elected by anybody. Nobody knows him. He did not go for any election. Even if you ask a voter walking once a year who the Speaker of Siaya County Assembly, they don't know that person. So we don't want such amount of money to be used to build a home for one resident of Siaya who is not known by anybody, who was not elected by anybody. That is one. Two, the other issue of building the new offices for the County Assembly of Siaya is another area which I want to discuss. And I want to say that the SRC gave guidelines for the budgets that can be used to build residences for the Speaker. And also there are also guidelines on the amount of money which can be used to build offices for the County Assembly or the Speaker. And the budgets are there. You cannot spend more than 200 million to build such a structure, especially in Siaya. But every financial year, you will go and look at the budgets. The County Assembly of Siaya retains about 600 to 800 million shillings. That this is the money they want to use to build a new offices. I was at the County Assembly recently, and I saw the offices they are using are very good. They're in very good shape. The offices are very beautiful. I am asking myself, why does the Speaker of County Assembly wants to retain 600 to 700 million shillings to build new offices? For whose benefit is that? We are at a time when the Minister, the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury has said that we have to tighten our belt. I think you guys have seen that. That the resources that we are going to generate will not be able to sustain us. How come in Siaya we are going to use 600 million to build an office for the Speaker? For whose benefit is that? I want to address the Speaker and urge our MCS to instead use that money to institute development projects in their wards, projects that will benefit the people directly, people who give them their votes. So I'm asking the Speaker that this is not something that's a priority, and in this coming budget, please remove those allocations, give them back to the county government so that those resources can be used to do projects that impact directly on our people. We need every ward, every sub-location to have dispensaries with doctors and nurses that can attend to our people. We need to enhance the agricultural programs that have been initiated. The fertilizer program, the seeds program, those are the things we need to work on. And those resources can better be used in those areas. And lastly, I want to urge the Speaker to ensure that there is proper oversight on the county government, because that failed oversight is the reason we don't have serious development in our county. And oversight does not mean coercion. It does not mean extortion, because there's some levels of extortion which we are seeing, where the county assembly knows that something has been done wrongly in the executive, but instead of bringing up that issue, they prefer to be bribed, to be given money. The Speaker prefers to be given money so that he keeps quiet. That is not what we want. We want proper oversight, so that if somebody's money is getting lost, we want that matter to be followed to the end, so that we retain our resources for the good of our people, but not coercion, not extortion.